Welcome to the Soon Podcast.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Soon Podcast. I'm Amanda Lynn.
And I'm Alyssa, and we are sisters. I'm in the health field, and she is in fashion and lifestyle. So we are just living different lives and catching up with each other from afar, going over all the things. And today we have sisterly advice. We're going to just catch up. And then I'm also going to go over gluten.
Ooh, the podcast episode that everyone's been waiting for because bitches love gluten. Actually, bitches love to hate gluten.
For good reason, it turns out, sadly.
Well, I'm excited, but I'm mostly excited to go over our sisterly advice questions because we ask all of our followers to write in at the end of each month. We will review all of the questions and give you our best form of sisterly advice, exactly how we would talk to one another if we were in that situation. And it is so fun. I feel like we've gotten in a lot of good questions before. So I can't wait to see what people have written in for this month.
Yes, and just a reminder, but for this next sisterly advice, anything we write in, you guys write in, I would love for it to be spooky or Halloween-esque, fall-esque.
Scary. Tell us like your craziest trick-or-treating story. Tell us your scariest story. Like any kind of spooky vibes. It doesn't have to be advice. It could just be a story and get it out there. We want to get scared. We want to get spooked. And I have a couple of my own that I really can't wait to get off of my chest.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm excited to just go over what's new with you because you went to a wedding and then you also were Princess of Genovia yesterday. And so you'll have to tell everyone.
I was Princess of Genovia yesterday. Actually, this is the craziest story. So, as I think most people who follow us probably know, I'm a micro influencer, so very small scale. But I get to work with brands, and sometimes the brands are really big. And yesterday was an actual fairy tale. I'm on cloud nine. I think I went to bed smiling like from ear to ear. It was the craziest feeling. So I got invited to the grand opening of the Alyssa and Olivia store, which they were opening a store in Scottsdale, which is very nearby to where I live. And I was so excited just to go to the grand opening. I was like, this is so fun. I love the brand. Can't wait for them to be close to us. I get a message the day of the event from one of their PR managers, and she says, we would love to dress you for the event tonight. And I was like, me? So I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I picked the one that was my favorite. And
I didn't know that she sent you outfits.
She sent me outfits that I could choose, which was unreal. She sent me like 5, which was so fun. And I picked it. And then she had a carrier deliver it to my house while I was working. So they hand delivered it. I came home. It was in the bag. I came home from work and I got ready in my outfit and I wore it to the event. And it was so fun. Honestly, the event was amazing. The founder of Alyssa and Olivia came to the event, so I got to meet her, and it was so cool and so fun, and I'm beyond grateful, and it still feels like a dream. So, Alyssa and I were supposed to podcast yesterday, and I very abruptly said, absolutely not, because, bigger things have come on the horizon.
Yeah. And that seriously is such a dream come true. Like, who are you? Kim Kardashian? Like, brands are trying to dress
I was
you?
like, you're going to dress me for the event. It was so cool, so surreal. So, support your local micro influencers because little dreams like this actually do come true. And it's just like so fun and so cool.
And Alyssa and Olivia is such a fun brand. Like, I love them.
It's actually crazy because when I worked at Nordstrom way back when, I loved Alyssa. Like, I love her still to this day, but I feel like when I was working there, like, it just was like one of those brands where I was like, this is the coolest brand ever. I loved seeing all the pieces come in. So I feel like it really brought me back. Like, I texted all of my friends that I worked at Nordstrom and I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe this is happening. The craziest thing ever. And they were so excited. So
That's
Very
so
cool.
cool. I love it. Well, that as a sister was so cool to hear. So I am so happy for you. And it was worth postponing the podcast for, but then she did try to postpone it again today.
Yes,
So
she's been a busy girl, I will say. I had book club today, and then, we had a post book club drink session, and things just were getting out of hand. So I had to postpone you only an hour. It was only an hour delay.
thank God. Well, how was the wedding?
Oh my gosh. I was in one of my best friend's weddings recently, which was so fun and so beautiful. She got married in this little town called Lake Chelan, which I had never heard of, but it's 3 hours outside of Seattle. And I would call it like a little version of Napa. Like there's a lake
There's
and
no lakes in Napa.
I know, that's why I'm saying, like, it's like a little version of Napa, if you wanted to clock in for that one. It's a little version of Napa because there's a lake in, like, this teeny tiny town. Like, you just walk through it and then, like, you're done. And wineries everywhere.
Mm.
Everything's a winery. I had no idea what to expect because I had just never heard of it, but I loved it. I actually swam in the lake and it was beautiful, and I would 100% recommend going there. Also, you have to fly into Seattle and then drive to the Lake Chelan area. It was the most beautiful drive, and you drive through, oh my God, what's it called, Alyssa? The Christmas town.
There's a Christmas town?
Yes, hang on, it's like a famous Christmas town.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, but
Drive through Leavenworth, which is like a famous Christmas town, and so we got to like we had no time to stop, but we got to drive through it, and it was so cute. So I would highly recommend it. Like next time we want to go back and do like a little road trip and stop in all the towns. Like it is one of those places where when you're driving, there's like a little place that like serves fresh pies. Like you can pick apples on the side of the road. Like little coffee shop. Like it was just so cute and like Old Town and Gilmore Girls vibes.
and we just don't have that in Arizona. There's a couple places in California, but I don't know, there's something about going a little up north where it's cozy and there's so many pine trees. Oh,
It was
I love it.
beautiful, magical. The wedding was amazing, and I couldn't have loved it more.
Did you get crazy?
I didn't get as crazy as I wanted to because we had to wake up the next day, drive the 3 hours back, and then hop on a flight to go home. So I didn't get as crazy as I wanted to, but it was still amazing. And I just love getting to see all of my friends get married. It's like such a fun, crazy year.
And when is the next wedding?
The next wedding is in 2 weeks, and that one is on of the Gulf of Alabama, the Alabama Gulf. I don't know how to say it. It's on the Gulf,
Go.
and I'll be in Alabama.
Okay. Well, that's fun. I have also had, some amazing things
Yeah.
happening over
What's going on with
here.
you? What's going on with you?
Well, besides preparing for my triathlon, which is next weekend, so the next podcast that we put out, I will be done with this triathlon.
Oh my gosh.
With
I can't believe it's here.
I had to break it to Paul. I said, "I will not be doing this again, ever."
I am still
So,
shocked you're doing it now.
yeah, I am too. I'm, like, pretty confident that I'm not gonna die, but I know it's gonna suck. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm very
But
proud of you. I still wish that I could come, but I am trying to book a flight to California and all of a sudden they're $500. Like, what
okay,
what is going on?
I was asking Omar, "Why can't you just drive?"
No. No.
Okay, well, think about it. It's like $100 and so easy.
I don't have the stamina of you. I can't drive to California by myself. I'm too scared.
You could, and you'd love it. Anyways, so the newest thing is that my friends and I joined a pickleball league.
Oh,
It's once a
okay.
week. for 7 weeks.
Okay.
And I know nothing about pickleball, so I took a pickleball class today.
Wow. You're 40.
And by the end of it, I felt like I needed more pickleball classes.
Well, you're just gonna have to take more. This is gonna be
Ugh.
baby.
I think we start on Tuesday, our pickleball tournament things.
Well, if you're just gonna learn as you go, it'll be fun. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
and apparently it's like a social pickleball thing, which means you're a super beginner. You almost don't even care about the points and like the scoring because it's more of like a social activity, kind of
Okay.
like bowling. So,
That's gonna be fun.
yeah,
Just take it day by day.
and it's just nice to get outside and get active like and be it's fun.
Very fun. I have another announcement. Actually, maybe I won't announce it. Maybe I'll do it for the report.
Oh, what is
Yeah.
it?
Well, I am trying out Rent the Runway for the first time instead of Newly. And I will say these selections were better.
For dresses.
No, no, for everyday wear. And they weren't sold out of a bunch of stuff. Like when you're on Newly, like I love Newly. Okay, I love it so much. But you always try and get like your size is always gone. All of your picks are always gone. I was so shook because I was like, I wanted a formal dress for the wedding that I'm gonna be in. And I was looking on there and I was like, okay, I'll be good for the dresses for rehearsal, yada yada yada. And I found so many pieces of like regular everyday wear and I love the brands and I'm super excited. So I'm interested for it to come in and I'm going to give it a couple of months before I give you guys my final thoughts. But I'm like, this might rival my Newly. Also, if you want the $99 a month program, you get 10 items with Rent the Runway, not just 6.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is huge. So I'll keep you guys posted if you guys are invested or looking to rent clothing from somewhere. I'm actually really excited and I'll give you guys a full report after like a month or two of using it. And I'll let you guys know which one I actually prefer more because I was so excited.
Because there's another one out there too called like bento.
Yeah, I saw that one. I didn't see like a ton of options on there for like what I would personally rent, but I was very pleasantly surprised with Rent the Runway. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Well, this top is Newly.
It's very chic. Okay, let's save the sisterly advice questions for the end. I don't
Yeah.
want to be best for last because I'm sure that the gluten segment.
People need to hear about the gluten.
So let's jump right in. I want to hear all of your hot takes on gluten. And then if you guys came here specifically for sisterly advice, that's going to be at the end. And we can't wait.
Yeah. So, I mean, gluten has been a thing for a long time, but I
Um,
feel like it's been like the last 10 years where people are really realizing that it has negative effects on people's health.
and everyone's allergic to it all of a sudden.
Honestly, that is partially true. Like the instances of celiac disease and gluten sensitivity has increased throughout the years. And I think it's because of how we're eating, how our soil is, how we're treating our wheat crops and whatnot. But also, wheat isn't the same as it was 50 years ago today. Like modern wheat has been hybridized. So it's been like crossbred with other varieties to improve, yield and whatnot. And so even though that's great for farming, it has made the gluten content in wheat a lot higher and a lot more complex. So it's really hard for our bodies to like break that down. And then on top of that, most wheat crops are sprayed with glyphosate, which is Roundup. So,
What? That's
Roundup,
crazy.
yeah. So that helps the crops, but leaves behind this chemical residue that can really irritate our guts and trigger this inflammation. So, I mean, it's really hard. I was really doing some digging into gluten and I was kind of sad because right now I'm not eating gluten and I am occasionally having gluten. I would say like once every couple weeks, I'll like have something with gluten in it. But I don't know, it just didn't make me feel excited to put it back in my body. I mean, it sounds like it has a lot of negative effects. So, one of the main things that I want to talk about is something called leaky gut. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of leaky gut.
Do you think you have it?
I don't know. I don't like either word separate.
I think your husband has it.
I know for a fact he probably does.
No, I think a lot of people have leaky gut. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about it because that is one of the things that kept coming up over and over when I was looking up the effects of gluten. And it was like, oh, it can trigger leaky gut or like poke holes in your gut lining. So your gut lining has teeny tiny little junctions. So here's one half of your gut, here's the other half, and they come together and they're together by these little tight junctions. I like to think about it of like stitches holding fabric together. So two pieces of fabric stitched together. And that is what the lining of our gut has to keep our gut intact.
Okay.
So when those stitches are really tight, everything stays inside the gut where it belongs. But if the stitches start to loosen or something pokes holes in it, then tiny gaps form or your gut becomes leaky. And that is literally what gluten does. So, even to people that don't really have gluten sensitivities, it can increase gut permeability. So, leaky gut. And that matters because we want particles and bacteria and toxins to all stay inside of our gut where our body can process and eliminate them. But when these gaps form, those particles and toxins leak out and into our bloodstream. Our immune system sees these particles and they think they're like foreign invaders, and so they launch an attack on our own body, and this shows up as inflammation and skin issues, fatigue and brain fog. And basically, if anyone has any type of autoimmune issue, which is where your body is already attacking your own body, this is why they want you to get off of gluten because it is just another thing that your body sees and wants to attack.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of those things are autoimmune issues. If you are having brain fog and fatigue or joint pain, a lot of those can be tied to autoimmune issues if they're chronic. That's kind of the big spiel about leaky gut and gluten and why it would be really great idea to not eat gluten if you have any of those issues and at least try to remove it. And then you can try to reintroduce it slowly and see how your body reacts. Another thing is gluten containing foods are not really things that we need. They're not essential in our diet. So think of white bread and pasta and pastries. They just like spike our blood sugar and add another layer of
They just
stress.
make us happy.
They do make you happy, but it's fake. It's fake happiness.
Okay.
So our bodies don't technically need these grains to thrive. And so I think it's better if we think of gluten or any of those gluten containing foods as something to maybe have once in a blue moon or for a special occasion. But instead, we're eating multiple gluten containing items every single day. Like we're having sandwiches with bread, then we're having pasta for dinner, and then we're having dessert with gluten and wheat in it. And it's just like, how much can our body take? So, if you're not having gut issues, if you're not feeling all of these other symptoms that I described earlier, then sure, carry on with your gluten. Maybe it could lead to something down the line. Maybe it couldn't. Maybe you'll be fine and your body is totally breaking it down fine and whatnot. But if you are experiencing those autoimmune conditions, Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, then gluten is going to increase inflammation. So definitely try to avoid that. Same with if you're having digestive issues. There is a spectrum. Not every single person is going to react to gluten in the same way. Um, for example, myself, I have Hashimoto's, so I have some thyroid conditions. I have brain fog, I have fatigue, and now I'm dealing with this infertility. And so I was like, okay, I just need to eliminate the gluten. I just do. And technically, I should be a little more hardcore. Like, you can't just half ass going gluten free. So
Right.
if these were like really, really big struggles in my life, like if I physically was so fatigued every single day, like I don't feel like that. I feel like I have very mild fatigue and issues. But if I was having a lot of gut issues and just extreme joint pain, you need to quit gluten cold turkey hardcore for at least 3 months before you try to reintroduce it.
I thought you would say 1 month. 3 months is a long time.
It's a long time. But I got this information from Dr. Mark Hyman and his colleagues who have dealt with a lot of people who struggle with these crazy conditions and autoimmune issues. And they were just like, some people quit gluten for a month and they don't see any symptoms get better. And so they said, you need to try hardcore for 3 months if you really want to see results. And that's what my work does as well. If you're doing a protocol with us, it's going to be a 3 month elimination of gluten along with it. So you can get tested. You can test for sensitivities. So there's something called a celiac panel, which is a blood test, and
Mm-hmm.
that'll look for things like tissue transglutaminase antibodies. So TTG antibodies, and that's in the blood. However, there are more sensitive tests. So better tests, things like the gluten sensitivity test called Cyrex array, which checks for immune reactions to multiple gluten peptides. And then in my work, we use something called the GI map test, which looks for gliadin antibodies. So that will tell you if you're having gluten reactivity in the gut. But again, the simplest test that you can do is 6 to 12 weeks of elimination.
Okay.
So removing it completely and then reintroducing and paying close attention to those symptoms. So sadly, I don't know if I'll ever be able to fully implement gluten back into my life. I mean, I deal with Hashimoto's and I don't want to worsen those things. Now there's also data about gluten and Alzheimer's, and I just want to avoid all of that excess inflammation. I do love food. I appreciate it more than most, I would say. So I could never be hardcore gluten free at this point in my life, but it's not looking good for gluten, you guys.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I have a really hard time eliminating foods from my life because I just love food. I'm also low key kind of a picky eater because I just like what I like, you know? And I just think that I do cherish gluten more than your average bear. But I think all of these points are valid. And I think that it's worth it to at least try to eliminate it as much as possible and maybe just splurge on it like when we're out to dinner or with certain meals and not, not eat it every single day.
Yeah, I think even just not having it in the house, you know? And that's not to say that if you're eating gluten free, you're eating healthy. Like you can still get junk food that's gluten free. So it's not like it's going to make you the healthiest person ever. But I think just eliminating it from the house is a really good idea if you can. But I mean, just whole foods in general are the best. And gluten is part of wheat. And if you're eating something that's like bready and pasta, I mean, that's clearly it's been heavily influenced. It's not like it came off of a tree or came out of a cow. So it's just not the best to eat a ton of it. And I did just get my thyroid results tested. It's been a long time since I've been trying not to eat gluten. and my TSH went from like a 3 to a 1. And I have never, ever had a TSH this low in my life. I don't even know what to do. It is good. I don't want it to get any lower. Like they might have to change my thyroid medicine. So that's how crazy this is.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was really cool to see.
No, that's amazing. So, I mean, I feel like it just shows that the less gluten that you have in your life, the better the results are for your body and your well being. So, let's all try to band together the Sooners, and we will just lessen our gluten intake, and then we can all come together and see if it actually has done anything, because I feel like it has for you, clearly.
Yeah, kind of wild because I haven't experienced a big difference in symptoms. Again, I never quit it hardcore. I'm trying to live my life. I'm already doing a lot of other things for fertility and whatnot that I need to also be able to enjoy my life. And that does include eating gluten from time to time. But seeing those results was crazy.
That is crazy.
And I don't know. I feel like I know a lot of people with really bad skin issues, really bad gut issues, and bloating or like crazy fatigue. And it's like, okay, this is one thing you can do for yourself to invest in yourself and to probably make a huge impact.
I think that that was super helpful. I'm very interested on all of the gluten takes, especially because I don't think I thought it was a hoax. I just thought that it was interesting how many people randomly became gluten intolerant. And I was like, is this a fad? What is this? But I think that that's very valid. And all of your points that you brought up were very interesting. So that will be my goal for this month, is to try to eliminate gluten as much as I can. I can't say it'll be a ton because I love it so much, but I will try to to cut it out.
If you see pretzels or carrot sticks, just go for the carrot sticks.
God, who would do that? But anyway. Okay, well now it's time for our sisterly advice. Oh, I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do your bringings anymore.
Goodness.
Okay. So this is from whenever we talked about matching furniture sets and how
Oh,
that's a no-no.
okay.
Someone said, "No matching furniture sets." Got it. I struggle with what goes together. So, what nightstands would go with light wood dresser?
Ooh, honestly, that's a great question, and I feel like we put everyone at a disadvantage for saying what you shouldn't do and then not giving like examples of what you should do. I think this question is tough because it really depends on your style. So, like I have light wood in our bedroom. I have my dresser is like a little bit of an oaky light wood, and then I have very dark wood nightstands. I think it is totally fine to mix your woods. I actually prefer it. Like mix your tones. It adds depth to your space.
Mhm.
Just keep it in the same vibe, in the same feel. Like I am like a little bit more of like a vintagey antique girl. So my nightstands and my dresser, although they're different wood shades, they are in the same family, if you will. They're both like antique. Don't get, a mid-century one thing and then a super modern another thing. I think that that's when your styles start to clash, is when you start to like piece things out, go for different styles, try and keep it within the same family, but have fun. If you have light wood, I feel like that's easy. You can go black, you can go white. If you want to do a mixed tone and get like a darker wood, go with that. But if your whole room is modern, keep your nightstands modern too.
I think it would be fun if you did like a little story with a little post of different room setups.
Ooh.
Like you can look up if someone has a light dresser and how you would style that.
Ooh, that's cute. Yeah, maybe I'll try and do that and show you guys like different. I always take to Pinterest too. I feel like Pinterest is a good way, especially if you are a
Yeah.
visual person, which I'm a very visual person. And if I'm like, okay, you don't want a matching set, like, what do you want? Like, go on Pinterest and then you'll kind of see it come together, especially if you have a specific style. Like, if you are mid century, type in like mid century light wood dresser in room and it'll show you like rooms that have that option. I will also post a few options for you so that way you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But if that makes sense at all, we're not looking for matching, but you can just keep it in the same story, in the same family.
Yeah. And Lightwood might mean that she's a beachy gal.
And if you're a beachy gal, then I would do maybe a white dresser with
That's
like
what
a
I'm
little
thinking.
rattan lamp on top of it, a little book stack. Like, keep it easy and functional, but I feel like there are ways to make your room feel cohesive without having matching furniture.
Yes. I love that.
I hope that helps. And you can always message us pictures. Send us a picture and I will tell you.
True that. True that. I don't know if they can send pictures anonymously, but send us a message.
Oh, send us a message and we will gladly look at your space with loving, open hearts and tell you what we think should go in there.
For a fee.
No, no,
Just kidding.
just send us your damn space and we will help you.
Okay, this next question. I like this question because I feel like I'm in the same boat a little bit. I
Okay.
feel like I've lost my personal style. Any tips?
Well, do you want to start? Like, do you have anything to share?
I mean, I am so lame because I feel like my answer is always Newly or clothing rental because it's like you can have a few staples that month and it doesn't mean forever. So I love
Yeah,
that. I feel like another idea is like either going on Pinterest or going on TikTok and finding someone that you like on there who styles themselves or dresses themselves in a way that you could see yourself dressing in a fun way. So you could look up like styling videos or work from home style, like things like that.
totally.
Follow my sister, Amanda Lynn Rose.
But it's true. I feel like I think that I'm in that same boat. So I think that that's a really great and valid question.
You've
Only
lost your style.
I don't think I've lost my style, but I think that it has changed so much,
Mm-hmm.
especially from
Mm-hmm.
when I first started posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think obviously your style grows with you and, you will gravitate towards things that really fit your life at the moment that you're in right now. But I think when we say, I feel like I lost my style. Is that because you actually lost your style? Or are you just looking back at what your style was and you wish that's what it was again? Because I feel like that's kind of a lane that I get into a lot where I'm like, oh my God, I used to be so fun and like wear crazy stuff. And I'm also like, well, I was spending a shit ton of money on clothes that I ended up donating all the time. And, like you just have to find that balance. But I do think that it's valid to try and find what do you think? What do you want your style to be? Look on Pinterest, look on TikTok, look on Instagram, like see what you're gravitating towards and try to fill your closet with pieces that will bring you happiness in that scope, but also feel like they fit in your life right now. And I agree with Alyssa. I love a rental program. I think it's really helpful because then you can play with other styles and see what actually fits your vibe the most without investing a ton of money in it.
Amanda and I are weird because I would say we're very flip floppy with our styles. Like every day is different.
New day.
I would not say that we are one thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And sometimes I wish I was. I'm like, oh, I just wish I was this person who,
Convenient. Yeah, but we're
but
not. Some
no,
days we're preppy, some days we're edgy. Not really. We're not super edgy. I'm not gonna lie. But some days we're like free people, and then some days we're like Princess Polly. Like you just
yeah.
never know what you're gonna get, and I feel like that's fun too. You don't have to stick with one niche. Your style should make you happy in the moment that you're in
Yeah. One also thing about a clothing rental is like I don't buy super loud clothing, but whenever I'm on Nuuly, sometimes I'm drawn to the loudest items. I'm drawn to it, but I don't want to spend $200, on one item. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's valid, and that's what fun. So,
Sorry. Paul, oh, you guys, give me advice. I need advice myself. My husband thinks that our front gate is a wetsuit drying rack.
yeah, this is actually a problem.
He has 3 wetsuits on our front gate right now, a towel and a changing station mat, and it just fell off the gate.
When she says front gate, it's like literally like the gate to their front yard. Like it's the picture of their home. It's just a wetsuit clothing rack, and it's traumatizing and it needs to be stopped.
Yeah, I feel like we are the worst neighbors. Like our neighbor just had to pick up one of the things because it fell off, and he just put it back on the fence.
It's not good, Alyssa. Something needs to be done. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
Why do
And
boys not know these things are like hideous and need to be
maybe
not?
you should like play a prank on him. Well, it's not really gonna work because he listens to this, but if he woke up one morning, they were all gone and you said they got stolen, he wouldn't leave them out there anymore.
I could do that right now.
You could do that and you
He's
should.
working all night, and then tomorrow morning he'll
You'll be like,
not see
oh
them.
my God, the wetsuits were out there. I can't believe it. We're not very good liars. So I don't think it would last very long, but I think that that's fun and it might like kick him into pants.
Oh my god, I feel evil.
You should do it. That's fun.
Oh my god, I'm gonna do it, you guys. Okay.
See, that was good sisterly advice. I just want everyone to note that. Hopefully Paul agrees.
Yeah, Paul's gonna be pissed.
Paul's
No, he's
not gonna
kidding.
agree with that, but I think that that's like a fun, harmless prank, you know?
We'll see. Okay, the next one is best advice to stay healthy during cold and flu season, which I feel like you just got over a cold.
I did just get over a cold and it was very annoying. I think it had to do with all the travel I've been doing, and people in the airport are low key disgusting and they just cough like all over your face for no reason. So I think that I could personally build up my immune system. And I feel like you were better suited for this question.
Yeah, I mean, my immune system has never been better since I started exercising 3 times a week and getting outside every single day. So I'm building up my vitamin D stores, and exercising improves your immune system tremendously. So I love that. How to stay healthy. I know like how to resolve sickness, but actually staying healthy, I think if I were to implement anything, it would be propolis spray. So it's throat spray. And propolis is something that bees make and put in their hives to keep bacteria out of their hives. And now certain companies have taken this propolis and created it as a spray to keep our bodies healthy and to keep bacteria away. So I love that idea. And then just keeping things on hand in case you do end up getting sick. So things like Viracid that have to be taken pretty immediately, like with an onset of a virus. Things like eating a lot of garlic, that's going to be really helpful, and oregano this season, making sure you're having cozy foods. Doing things like dry brushing is going to really help move your lymph system, and lymph gets your immune system going. So, things like that I would say would be really helpful, but mainly staying healthy and active and outside is going to be your best bet.
Okay,
And
that's
staying hydrated.
yeah, that's fun. Okay, we get it, Alyssa. You work out 3 times a week. Okay, we
I
got it.
try.
It's been noted.
And if you're sick, please, I know people were anti masks here and there after COVID, but I'm like, I don't care if you have COVID or the flu. If you're going to go out and about and you're hacking up a lung, wear a
Don't
mask.
go don't go out and about. Like, don't be that person. Don't be that person. Stay in, keep yourself locked in a cave and get better.
Amanda, the average cough lasts 10 days to 2 weeks. I mean, that you can't avoid going out, but you should try to wear a mask. Try to not spread it.
Yeah. Don't
Disgusting.
hide away.
Especially on planes. I cannot handle it. Ugh.
Ugh. The plane coughing is the worst thing about traveling. It's the worst thing about traveling. It makes me literally want to turn around and deck them in the head. Stop traveling when you're sick. Stop it.
Tell me I'm wrong. Is it not always an old man?
An old man or it's a little kid who's coughing like this
Yeah,
without covering their face, and it's so atrocious. And their parents are always like, kids.
I know. And you're like, no, 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 no.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my spiel. Okay, good advice. Love it. I have no advice on this because I'm always sick. So,
We did kind of go viral years ago on TikTok for the magic socks.
Alyssa took a pretty heinous video of me because I was sick and I was in a matching pajama set with like my hair in braids or something crazy. And Alyssa loves the going to bed with cold, wet socks, which sounds like it would make you sick. But every time she's done it for me, well, one time it didn't work, but I think I was too sick for it to work. You have to do it like right when you start to feel sick. You go to bed with your cold, wet socks, and it actually like it makes you feel better. It does.
It's very odd, but if you think about it, here's the thought process. And this is an old trick that people do. So you get regular cotton socks, you get them damp with cold water, and then I will wring them out and I'll put them in the freezer for like 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm warming up my feet in a hot bath. Then I take my feet out of the bath. I put these freezing cold socks on, and then you put a wool sock over that sock, a dry wool sock.
You sound like a witch.
I'm a bruja. And then overnight, your body is going to send blood to your feet to warm up those socks. So you're getting the blood moving, you're getting the lymph and the everything moving. And that's the thought process. So if you're starting to feel sick, cold, wet
Wet
socks
socks. But you have to,
overnight though.
they don't work when you're already sick. It's like when you're like on the verge, it needs to like shock your body to be like, stop being sick. Also, I know it sounds like it would be atrociously uncomfortable. It was honestly like really not that bad.
No, if
Because I
your
feel like
body
it's,
gets
like the
used to
cold,
it.
but then you have the warmth on top of them. Like I don't sleep with socks on. I can't do it. But this, it didn't bother me at all for some reason.
Yeah, I love it
Give it a
in
spin.
the winter.
Cold, wet socks. Your heart out.
Yes. And don't send hate and talk to your doctor who will hate this. Okay. The next one, how often do y'all cook and what do you like to make? Okay, I'll start because I don't think Amanda cooks very much.
I will quickly review my cooking.
Oh,
I am very lucky that I hate saying I live with my parents because I don't live with my parents, okay? They live in their back house. We're very separate. But my
neighbors.
my mom, yeah, we're neighbors. My parents are my neighbors. My mom cooks for us all the time. I couldn't be more grateful. So I don't cook a lot. I do want to cook more because I was on a roll. Like we were cooking like 2 times a week, which I know is not a lot. I know. But we were cooking like 2 times a week and I genuinely have been enjoying cooking and I like knowing like what I'm putting in my body and like the ingredients that we're picking out and all of that fun stuff. I've been really vibing with that lately. I've just been so darn busy. And then with all of the travel we've been doing, it's like I haven't even unpacked my suitcase, which never happens. I'm usually like a same day unpacker. So I I I I could say that I have like an at-home chef. Shout out to my
So when they knew that they were going to be neighbors for the rest of their lives because Amanda bought their house, they moved into the back house, my parents, and they were already, they were living together for a while years ago. And so they just always had this routine of like, oh, my parents will cook and then invite them up. But then my parents were like, wait, we can't just like fund this habit. So they were like, okay, you guys will be in charge of, cooking dinner a couple times a week. And Amanda and Omar, they just order out. They don't cook.
it's our time to cook. We're like, okay, we'll just order Uber Eats from this place or from this place. So, I mean, the split is still fair and even. That's all dandy. But it's the actual who's cooking part that really trips us up, you know? We're
You're
trying our
crazy.
best. Sue me.
I'm the opposite. I don't love eating out. We do eat out a lot because Paul loves eating out. But every day I cook my own breakfast. That's either going to be cottage cheese pancakes, which I make in bulk, or 3 eggs and 2 chicken sausages, sometimes an avocado.
She's a big egg girl. Like,
I
I
know.
like an egg, but when she comes to our house, we blow through those suckers like crazy.
It's true.
Like, how many
I
are you eating over there, Popeye? Like, my God.
That's spinach.
It was just a big protein guy.
Yes. And so, yeah, I'll either do that or the cottage cheese pancakes. For lunch, I feel like we normally eat out, or I try to make extras for dinner to have for lunch. Or if I'm desperate, it's like tuna with mixed with avocado on rice crackers with microgreens on top and like a protein bar or like a protein shake or something. But that's if I'm, like, really desperate. Usually, I have leftovers. And then for dinner, we do use Green Chef right now. Ever since I went gluten-free, I've never gone out and bought, like, gluten-free flours and gluten-free this and that, and so instead, I opted for, like, this meal delivery service. It's actually, like, gives you the ingredients, and then you cook it at home, and it is on the pricier end, but still cheaper than eating out for sure. But yeah, so now that I'm kind of getting in the groove of gluten-free, I'm trying to do that every other week, and then on the weeks in between, I'll go on Pinterest and I will get 2 to 3 recipes that look interesting to me and make those.
Yeah.
And that's just my habit. Like I don't have recipes that I make over and over again. If I do, they're like really tried and true recipes. Like my pumpkin lasagna roll-ups,
Those are really good.
which are not gluten-free.
But she did that a lot when she was living here, like in the back house. And the meals that she was getting were actually really good. And Omar and I should probably start doing that because we just don't have time to like go look for food, go look for food like hunter gatherers.
Yeah, scavenge the yard.
I think that we would cook a lot more if it was just here in the house, like every single week, and we don't need to like decide what we're gonna eat and all of that fun
Mhm.
stuff. So maybe we'll look into a meal plan and we'll keep you guys posted.
And yeah, you can do it every other week. And I think that it's just helped me so much because I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to plan for our meals, for the next month or something. Then I never get around to the grocery store or certain things go bad in the fridge and whatever. So this has been super helpful. But yeah, as of fall, I've been so inspired. I've made like pumpkin chili and stuffed squash, just like random things outside of the meal service. So I'm loving fall lately.
That's fun and cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our family has one thing that we do make often, and that is lasagna.
we're a big lasagna family, and my mom, shout out Queen, she just made lasagna for when my husband and I flew in from the wedding that we were just at. We flew in that we got in at like 6, but it's just a long travel day. And she had it prepped and like made for us. So we ate lasagna right when we got home, and then we like got to eat it throughout the week. And it was literally just so lovely. So
Yeah, she loves to throw that shit together.
yeah, and she freaking kills it. So if you make a good dish and you have like, I feel like that's a fun dish like that, or like if you make a really good spaghetti, like if you have like a family dish that you're like known for and you love to make, like Alyssa makes a really good chicken pot pie. Um, I couldn't recommend it more. I know that this is so off topic, but like if you have like a friend who has kids and like like I have Alyssa made it one time for one of my girlfriends who her husband travels a lot, so she made them like a chicken pot pie, and it was just like the cutest, sweetest thing ever. Or like, just be a little meal delivery service to your friends in need, okay?
Feed your friends.
Feed your friends. It's cute.
Yes, I agree. Okay, well, do you have time for one more? Okay,
We can do one more.
here's our last question. How do you continue to trust your partners? Do you check their phones or locations? I've been cheated on in the past. Help.
Oh, well,
I
that is
know.
tough. I hate that for you. Okay. I feel like I don't have the best advice for no, I take it back. I'm gonna tell you guys like what my vibe is. So I have obviously been with Omar since high school. We have like the grounds of our relationship is like we tell each other everything. Alyssa knows that. Sometimes she's like, can you literally like stop? But we tell each other everything. We're just very open and honest. So I feel like in your future relationships, maybe let that be like your ground rules. Just say like honesty is the best policy. Even if it's something you don't want to tell me, let's just talk about it together. We can always figure it out. There's nothing we can't fix. I'm also very anti going through people's phones. I think that we've talked about this in another episode, but that is just not who I am. Like, I just really respect people's boundaries and their privacy. I mean, if I'm on my husband's phone, sometimes I'm gonna look through your pictures, and I will because I like to see all the pictures that he's taken of me. And, but I don't know if I've ever honestly gone through like his messages, but that's just not the relationship that we have. Granted, I trust him fully through. So that's tough. I think you just need to be in a relationship, and you'll know it when you feel it, where you just feel like you don't need to do those things because you know that your partner is going to be open and honest with you. And I think that you need to start that like from the beginning of your relationship. Alyssa probably is very different advice from me. But that's my advice.
So, one thing is that it pisses me off that you don't go through Omar's phone because sometimes I want the drama within his friend group. I'm like, what's
No,
going on?
let's have like 1,000 like group messages with like different groups, and like I want to know what's going on, but I'm like I one don't have the time or the energy to like sift through their like random gifts that they send each other. I just don't have it in me, but I would love to
Right?
know.
He'll be like, oh, this person and this person broke up, or this person and this person are
And I'm like,
talking.
why? And sometimes he will deliberately not tell us and I because he knows that we will then tell our mom and everyone else that we know. But it doesn't matter because they don't know them. So like we could be like, can you believe that our friends broke up because of this, this, and this? So he will specifically not tell us the gossip because we are not to be trusted, and that's valid.
I think he doesn't want our podcast to thrive because if we had all that gossip, we would be unstoppable. My advice is definitely different. I would say I don't have the healthiest relationship with going through people's phones in the past.
Yeah, I know. Alyssa would go through mine. She still goes through mine. I will literally catch her just like on my Instagram. Why are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a Snoopy hoe.
He's very
And unfortunately, in the past, I have caught an ex cheating on me through Snapchat, and he would always hide his phone, and I thought it was a good thing. I thought like, "Oh, this guy doesn't he's just not on his phone when he's with me." Like, we were together for years and legit would, like, have his phone off. And so, I don't know, one time I just finally had a hold of his phone to change music, and I went through it. And so that's when I, ended that relationship. And so it's hard for me not to have those feelings of like this gut feeling associating going through someone's phone with life-changing information that you need. And so that was something that Paul and I had to go through and work through. And he actually had a very healthy relationship with his phone. Like, he would just take my phone and like text you or something from my phone. And that was the first time someone had like taken my phone without talking to me. And so I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Like, we just can have each other's phones. And then we were pretty good about sharing our locations and whatnot because I would visit him from out of the state and he'd be working. So I'd be like, okay, I'm alone and I'm going to go to the beach. Like, here's my location or whatever. So I don't know. It's definitely so individual and you have to listen to your gut and you also have to have these boundaries. Like, I think it's okay to tell your partner, I feel uncomfortable about this. And I know that this might not seem healthy, but I want to go through your phone. But you also need to know that that could have repercussions. Your partner might not want that relationship. Like, you might break up. So
that.
it's
But also, like, not to cut you off, I think one thing about going through people's phones, even if they're not being shady, you're going to see stuff that is going to hurt your feelings. Like,
it's so
if he
true.
could be texting his mom and being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so annoyed today because of X, Y, and Z," or, you know, just anything like, people vent to their friends, and that's totally healthy, totally normal,
Mhm.
and it's stuff that you aren't meant to see, and I feel like going through someone's phone, it just opens your heart up to seeing stuff that will probably hurt your feelings, so just know that too. It's like, if you want to open up that can of worms, go for it, but you'll likely get your feelings hurt, which sucks.
Totally. So I feel like if you truly have these trust issues, it's going to bite you in the butt if you don't deal with them like through therapy or like voice these issues to your partner before it becomes a problem.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, like, I immediately told Paul, like, I have trust issues and we're already long distance, blah, blah, blah. So, like, he was very aware. So, I don't know. It's really hard to navigate, but we're wishing you luck. When it comes to the location thing, do you and Omar share locations?
Yeah, but we've always, like, as soon as that was a feature, we were like, "Give me your location."
Would you ask a partner to share their location?
I think if you guys are very serious, like, I wouldn't ask a fling. I
Yeah,
wouldn't ask, like, someone that I just started dating, but I feel like maybe at, like, the 8-month mark, I feel like that's, like, a good time to be like, "Oh, things are pretty serious. We're almost at our 1 year. Like, I wanna know what you're up to at all times, and you should share your location with me." And if
what
they
if they say no?
then I feel like that is a reason to be like, "Why not? Why not? Why don't you want me to know where you are? What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's no reason if you're in a serious relationship to not have your location. Like, I don't look at Omar's location, but as a wife, like, it is very helpful to be like, is he still on the golf course? What hole? Like, what is he doing? Or like, he travels a lot for work, so I will literally sit there sometimes and just see his little dot like circle around. I can't get a hold of him. Like, he went to Tahoe for a bachelor trip and he had no service for like an hour, and I opened up his screen and it literally looked like he was in a storage like locker. And I was like, he's dead. So, I mean, I like the sharing of the location. I also personally like my location being shared because I always think that I'm going to get abducted. So it works for us. I think that if someone is against sharing their location, I think that that's the perfect time to say why, like why not? And go with wherever that leads them. Because I don't genuinely think that there's a valid reason to not share your location with a serious partner.
Yeah. I mean, also don't pick a fight to pick a fight. Like, if it doesn't matter to you, ask yourself, why does this matter to me? But it is good to just ask those questions to ask anyways. Just be like, I'm curious. Like, would you ever share your location with me and whatnot? So
Mhm.
just to like gauge asking without asking, you know?
Yeah, and see where it goes. But we wish you all the best and lots of love
You are a sister
and a star.
and we are giving you advice. This is the end of our sisterly advice.
That's it, y'all. So please write in your spooky, scary stories. We want to hear them. We want to tell them. We want to be scared. And maybe we'll have like all the lights off and a candle burning.
Even if it just means your relationship is a scary story.
Yeah, send us your scary stories, your relationships, or the
Yeah.
scariest thing that's happened to you. Most embarrassing is also valid for a scary story.
Yes. But we are tapping out.
We love you all, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon.
Okay, goodbye. Love you.
What are you doing?
I need to go lay down.